What's up, Mortgage Coach community? I am live at the JW Marriott in Anaheim, California. With the one and only Dale Vermillion. What's up, Dale?
The one and only Dave Savage.
Yeah,
is here.
There is only one of a kind. Although I just noticed we're both big letter shirt heroes with sweat jackets.
Yeah.
It's kind of a thing. So guys, I just watched Dale deliver a 98-minute keynote that was so on market. It was unbelievable. So any managers or leaders out there that are looking for the right keynote speaker in today's market, like, he's the guy. So, loan officers, tell your managers, if you're doing sales rallies, whatever you're doing to get clear on how to win in this market, he's got a great message. So Dale, everything was amazing, but I want to.
You're too nice.
No, it really was.
Appreciate it.
You did a nice job of timeless best practices that are on point in this market. And then you told stories that emotionally connected. So you killed it, brother.
Appreciate that.
But it's a conversion market, guys. Last year was a volume market. You said some things about quoting rates last year. It worked.
Yeah, it did. When they're 2 and 2.5,
yeah,
everybody likes it.
Exactly. So if you could just give folks some of what you called conversion killers and maybe frame it a little bit, and then pour into the Mortgage Coach community with how can we do a better job of lead conversion for ourselves and for our realtor partners.
Well, I think the first thing you just mentioned is don't talk right up front. It's just foolish in this market. Nobody likes the sound of 6.5, 7, 7.5, or 8. It's just not going to work. So what we have to do is instead, we've just got to understand that the key to success is you got to remember, if that borrower's talking to you, they know what rates are. It's not like it's not in the news everywhere. We know that. So they're obviously okay with where the rates are at, and they have a bigger goal that they're trying to establish. Get to that goal. And if they're okay with that rate, you ought to be okay with that rate. And all you need to let them know is, look, we're as competitive. You know what the rates are. We're as competitive as anybody out there today. And the fact of the matter is, until I know a little more about your situation and your goals and your qualifications, I won't know what that rate is, but I can assure you this, we're going to give you an awesome rate. And get into the conversation with the borrower about what they're trying to do, what their goals are financially, what their desires are, and what they're trying to accomplish through a mortgage. So that's number one. And number two is respond quickly to people. Like, this to me is the one that I just don't even understand today. That, I see people get referrals from their referral partners and they don't call them for hours or sometimes a day. I'm not even sure if I was a referral partner, I would work with that loan officer again, because what you're saying to both the consumer and to the realtor is, I'm too busy for this. And it's just not that important to me. If you get right back to people, if you instantaneously, imagine this, Dave, imagine you're a loan officer, you get a referral from one of your favorite partners. You get off the phone with them, you instantly call that customer, you connect with that borrower. Maybe you can't take a full app right now, but at least you connect, let them know, and set an appointment with them. And all of a sudden, that realtor gets a call from that customer and says, man, that Dave Savage, that guy you referred me, I hung up the phone with you and he was calling me. That's the kind of service we want to convey today. So we got to be quick. We can't quote rates. And we got to make sure that we are building relationship. I think that's the most important piece. Quit sending off the links. Start talking to your borrowers. Start really engaging with them. That's key.
I want to pause. And by the way, guys, I'm going to look at my phone in a minute just to remind me on some notes. But I liked the way you talked about the link. We live in this link economy now.
Yep.
And guys, I recommend using links. Give a Mortgage Coach link to deliver advice. Give an app link to make it efficient and convenient for the consumer. But there are some do's and don'ts, and there are some philosophies that you have. And by the way, there's some philosophies I have as well, that I'd like to pepper in. So could you just give a few more of, and it's different in this market because the biggest objection consumers have is, should I buy, or are values going to come down? Should I wait for rates, or they have personal affordability issues?
Right.
So speak to the links and those concepts.
So what you just said is so vitally important, because if they have those questions, how is a link going to solve that question? It can't. Only a human being can solve that question. Only you as the mortgage professional can be the advisor to say, well, let me educate you on why you should buy in this market. Let me educate you on why it makes sense to do a loan right now. Let me educate you on all the positive things happening in the marketplace today. That can only happen through a conversation. And look, I think the mistake that a lot of people make in our business, sadly, is that they think when a borrower says, well, can you send me a link? They think that's what they prefer.
Right.
That's not necessarily what they prefer. that might just be them trying to get rid of us.
Right.
So if you can call their bluff on that and say, I can do that, but here's the fact of the matter is, a lot of times my customers, they get confused by pieces when I send them to them. They don't know the answer to it. They're going to need me to walk them through it. How about if I just am on here with you? We'll go through it together. You can fill out the information. It's going to make it more efficient and a better application for me, but then I can answer your questions and also get to know a little more about you. And now you build relationship. A link does not create relationship, period.
Yeah. And guys, the other thing I'm seeing from interviews I'm doing in the mortgage coach community, I'm seeing a lot of loan officers send that link with a 30-second to 1-minute text video. So it's like letting the consumer know that you heard them, connecting a little bit with them, giving them a little bit of direction so that they can be more efficient and more effective. But guys, most importantly, you're building a relationship and you're differentiating from your competition. So if you do not have a little tripod in your workspace, like this is the time to get that little tripod, and with every link, might be 15 seconds, might be 30 seconds. It should not be over 1 minute. I think it should be like 30 seconds to 40 seconds, little text video with a link. Any thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I mean, look, we're trying to connect on a human level with our customers today. Communication has become a problem since COVID for everybody in the business world, particularly in the mortgage arena. And we've got to get back to the old mindset of true relationship with our borrowers again. We've got to get them to be loyal to us. Not just, 2020, 2021, you could just slap a program on a borrower and they buy it all day long. You didn't need a relationship because 2.5 sells.
Right.
Today, you've got to be an educator. You've got to be an advisor. You have to have a relationship. They got to trust you. They got to know you're looking out for their best interest. Therefore, you've got to spend time with them. If you don't spend time with them, then they're never going to have any of those emotions that you need in a very competitive marketplace.
So guys, stay on this whole thing. If you're a new loan officer, we're going to close strong with Dale's advice to new loan officers. Before we do that, there was also a section where you called it redefining positioning. When you talked about how we're this education market, which we talk about that every day.
Yep.
But the way you described kind of like the checklist, you don't need to give it all to them.
Right.
But give us a few highlights on because there's the conversion killers and then there's the conversion multipliers.
Right.
Giving options,
Right.
a total cost analysis.
Right.
Give like 2 or 3 of those purchase repositioning. And then I want to, guys, if you're a new loan officer or you're a mentor of new loan officers, stay tuned for how we're going to close this thing out.
Well, here's the biggest thing. Just the mistake that we make is we are just trying to get them approved and give them a pre-qualification / pre-approval. That doesn't do you any good. You need to get them in a contract.
Right.
You could have 100 deals in your pipeline that are pre-approved with none of them that ever fund. And in today's marketplace, with rates continuing to rise, with the Fed continuing to push limits on rates, we're seeing today that they're going to be announcing another Fed rate increase. The borrowers are going to think that means rates are going up 75 basis points for them directly, which that's not what it means, but that's what they think it means. They're going to get more and more stale on purchasing. So what you have to do is you've got to make sure that you are connecting with them to really win that thing over. And you're positioning on how do we get you into a contract, not just how do we get you pre-approved. And that means helping them understand how to buy in this marketplace today. And what are the benefits and what are the attributes that are important? Why is this a good marketplace? Listing prices are dropping. So everybody's talking about rates going up, but values are also going down. So it's a teeter-totter. It's one's correcting the other. And there's a lot less buyers out there today. So you might be in a better chance today to get into a house than you were 7 months ago when the rates were super low. It's just that simple.
Well, I've seen multiple financial planners, thought leaders say that this might be the best time to buy in 5 years. Now, is that going to be this month? Is that going to be next month? Is that going to be February? Who knows what's actually going to happen? But here's what we know for sure. Right now, it's easier to buy a home today, this year, than it was this time last year.
Yep.
You have a better chance of getting seller concessions. You have a better chance. You brought up seller contingencies.
Yep.
You as a mortgage coach, people in this community, you've got 1, the training, and 2, the tools to give families options. And the 2 biggest challenges in this market are qualifications, because there's a lot of people that were qualified, when rates were 4% lower. that need to be requalified, and affordability, just
Yep.
plain old home affordability. So when you can be the professional that knows how to talk about 2-1 buy down options, seller buy down options, ARMs, and you can be the affordability specialist, the qualification specialist, guys, those are not the conversion killers. Those are the conversion multipliers.
Right.
So Dale, before we close this out, one of the gentlemen in the room was a senior, top loan officer, been in the business for 20 years, and he had a new loan officer with him. And you could just feel that guy's vibe. Like he was a winner. Like I was on the other side of a room, and he had a great mentor, and you could just feel that by the way he talked. And he had a future winner in our industry, and you could just tell that by the stature and the fact that they're even there asking questions. Like you had a couple of winners. And how smart of him, by the way, to take the opportunity. We all know if we're mentors to new loan officers, it takes a village. They've heard you tell them why it's a great time to be in this market. But he asked Dale Vermillion. And I've answered that question a lot of times, and I think I do a pretty good job of it. But I was like, the way Dale answered that question, I was like, we got to bring this into the mortgage coach community. We got to give a little weapon to all the mentors out there, and give a little inspiration to all the new loan officers. So, I mean, I know you probably can't repeat what you said, but if you could, I'm a new loan officer. Is now a good time?
Well, the answer is yes. And here's the reason why, because you are not soured or jaded or any of those things. You know really nothing about the mortgage business, and that can actually work to your benefit right now because you know just a little about it, and that's just enough to be successful, because it's that old thing, you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes that can work to your benefit in a marketplace like we're in today where rates are high. So I shared the story when I got in the business back in 1983. I had no prior experience. I didn't know a thing about it, but I was a really good salesperson. I'd sold pots and pans door to door and done incredibly well, and was in the top 1% for the company that I had. And that was over 7,000 salespeople. And the guy who hired me was a 25-year vet. And he's like, the reason I'm hiring you is because you can sell. And I know mortgages, and the two of us together are unstoppable. And I remember the very first day on the job, he said, go start calling borrowers and selling deals. And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm selling. Like, what do you mean? He said, well, here's the deal. He goes, here's all you need to know. Just call them up and say, look, the reason I'm calling is my boss said I can save you a bunch of money. He said, I can put a bunch of cash in your pocket and I can get you out of debt quicker and maybe get you in a home real fast when others can't. So I'd like to talk to you about that. That's all I want you to say. I'm like, okay, I can take instructions. So I did. And literally I got 7 apps that day. And the funny thing about it was every time the borrower would say, so what's your rate? I go, I don't know. It's my first day. They go, well, how does the process work? I don't know. It's my first day. I just kept telling them, I don't know. It's my first day. I don't really know. But here's what I said every time. My boss does. I work for a 25-year vet. I'm going to get all of your questions. I'm going to get them all together. I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to get to understand what you're looking to do. I'm going to present it to my boss. And we're going to call you back together if we need to. We're going to answer every single one of your questions, and we're going to change your life. And that enthusiasm and the fact that I didn't know anything actually worked to my benefit. I used to train my loan officers all the time. What I do is I was 12 years as a manager. I never hired a person with experience one time, not one time in 12 years. And what I do is I'd bring them in then and I'd say, day 2, you're going to sell a deal. And they would freak out. And what I do is I'd sit down and say, now watch, I'm going to be you, you're going to be me. And I would do the same thing. I'd get on the phone. I'd tell the bar the same thing. And when they ask the question, I go, I don't know, that's a great question. I don't know, it's my first day. And I would get the application every time. And I showed my loan officers, you don't need to know it all. In fact, knowing it all can really be a crippler in this marketplace, because as I talked about in the keynote, one of the problems a lot of people make in this business, they talk too much about mortgages and not enough about really how to change the life of a borrower. That's really what we need to talk about. So don't let your inexperience scare you off. Look, the fact that you don't know gives you just enough to know that you can succeed in this marketplace.
So I'm going to close it out with a script, but before I share the script that I'm going to give all you new loan officers, I'm going to give you 2 scripts that I promise you will give you an unfair competitive advantage against all the seasoned loan officers. But also, you told a story about a gal in the Northeast who was less than a year in the business.
Less than a year in the business, closing over $4 million a month, just going to open houses.
Open houses. 8, was it 8 open houses?
6 open houses on a Saturday.
6 open houses consistently. I'm sure showing up with energy. showing up with excitement, showing up with ideas
Well, that's
and
not
strategies.
one. There's multiple that I've trained that are doing this, that are all less than a year in the business. They're just, what they're doing is they're going out and meeting with their partners. They're going to open houses. They're doing all of the right things because they don't know any different. Okay, that's the key. They don't know any different. They do what I teach them to do, which is get out in the marketplace, get out with your partners. Don't worry if you don't know all the answers to the questions. Let them know you're going to get them. Just let them know you want to help them. You want to help their business. You want to be a partner with them. And the people who are doing it, and I can show you 10 or 12 or 15 of them that I'm working with right now that are all crushing it, doing $2, $3, $4 million a month in business without even blinking. And they got less than a year in the business.
And that just lit me up because in the interviews that I've done, I interviewed Kelly Zitlow recently, who runs for Keller Williams Mortgage. She runs their elite program. She's doing open houses and she's using the MortgageCoach open house flyer. I interviewed Sean Herrero, doing over 100 million this year, did over 200 million last year. He's doing open houses. I could tell you over and over story and strategy after another where loan officers are killing it with open houses. The interview I did with Sean Kaplan, who's in Nashville, $100 million producer. And he showed how he's using a combination of QR codes. And that QR code is pulling up a total cost analysis. By the way, it's borrower education.
Yep.
And it's the education that realtors need help with. They need your help getting buyers into escrows. So for all you new loan officers, open houses, Dale Vermillion, I'm going to give one script now, and then I'm going to tell you guys how you can get lots of scripts and lots of training. Stay tuned. So one of the scripts that Dave Gallegos gets credit for this. He's really good at bringing new loan officers into the business and running them through a process. And one of the scripts he taught me is call all the Ritters. Like every new loan officer has a list of friends and people that love them and like them. Call the people you up that are renting and say, hey, I need your help. Remember, they love you and like you. They want to help you. I need to practice doing a rent versus own analysis so I can get really good at this. I'm a new loan officer. Will you help me? Can I practice a rent versus own analysis with you? And you know what? The loan officer's getting better. He's having a conversation. He's getting the marbles out of his or her mouth. And you know what? You talk to enough people that know you, like you, and love you, and you take them through a rent versus own analysis, you get some deals. You know, and then you call all your homeowner friends and go, I need your help. I'm new in the business. Will you help me? Not try to sell you anything. It's probably not the right time for you. But will you help me learn and train on how to do a move-up analysis where you run the numbers, you're coming in, all you're doing, if you're a new loan officer, you need to improve your skills so that you improve your confidence. And the more reps you get at practicing these things, you get deals. So call up, I'm sure if you're new, you know some realtors or your family knows some realtors. Hey, I need your help. I want to walk you through my open house strategy and get your feedback. I'll bet you they're like, that's brilliant. My loan officer's not doing that. So Dale, we've collaborated and created this Meet the Market. So we're just starting to launch this. If you're tuned into this, this is training that is designed to meet the market's needs today.
Yep.
And it's skill-based sales training.
Yep.
So there's a tremendous amount of content, free, online. There's lots of coaches and trainers, but Dale Vermillion is the top conversion trainer. I mean, no one has trained more consumer direct lenders and conversion, which by the way, is the hardest conversion out there. Like when you're getting a cold lead and you have to like create rapport, create value, and you do it scale in 5 to 10 minutes. Like there's no one on the planet that has trained more loan officers that can win in that type of marketplace. He also trains a lot of great distributed retail, local referral-based professionals. He totally understands what you're doing. And you created, what is it, 3.5 hours? Yeah. So guys, check it out. It's online. It's a digital platform. It's called Meet the Market. I'm going to put a link down below to it. What is it, like 20 micro lessons?
25, something like that.
Maybe 20, maybe it's 26. I think that's 26. And what are they, like 4 to 12 minutes?
Yeah, depending on the module.
So each module is like 4 to 14 minutes. So they're easy to consume. You can just go in there and jump and do it. It's a total of 3.5 hours of content. And it's designed to teach you scripts to win in this market. He designed it specifically for alerts from Sales Boomerang. So all of our top core alerts, you've got a Dale Vermillion sales script training micro course. You reach out because you're like, hey, it's never been more important for loan officers to use tech, to use MortgageCoach, to use Boomerang. So Dale, put a little color around that. And then guys, we'll put a link down below for you.
Well, I think the key is that it's proven strategies. It's all strategy. It's not motivational mumbo jumbo. It's strategy. It's proven. I've trained over 1 million loan officers. I'm teaching you what the best of the best of the best of the best do and how they do it over my career. And, you know, that's coming from working with over 600 lenders over the course of my career. So you're going to literally learn stuff that we know it works. It's not like you don't have to wonder, will this improve my numbers? It is going to improve your numbers instantly, because we're going to teach you how to deal with rate, how to deal with conversion, how to deal with, you know, the buyers and the partners today and the challenges you have, and how to meet today's market, how to create opportunity even in a rising rate market. Rate's not the problem in the market today. It's methodology and mindset that are the problem, and we'll teach you how to improve both.
Methodology and mindset. That's the other thing, guys. This is a market where some loan officers are getting bitter and some loan officers are getting better. And the way you get better is you improve your skills. So I hope you will meet the market. We'll put a link down below to that. What is it, $4.99?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, $4.99. And no, there's not a discount. You know, we talked about that, and we felt like, you know what, this is an important market. They put he actually wanted to charge more for it. And so we got it down to a bare minimum price. It is not discounted. The only way we will discount it is if a branch or a large group of loan officers buys in bulk. So I'm going to get emails. Dave, what's the discount? There isn't one. But you know what? It's going to cost you money either way. If you don't go through this program, it's going to cost you at least a loan or two a month. And if you go through the program, you're going to get a loan or two per month. Definitely. So check it out. Especially valuable for all you new loan officers. Any closing thoughts?
Look, the market's changed. We have to change. It's just that simple. You know, I quote all the time Peter Drucker. He said, the problem in a turbulent market is not the market. It's working with yesterday's logic. And that's a mistake I'm seeing people make all over the country, is we're still working with a 2021 mindset in a 2022 marketplace. And that's how we say that dog don't hunt. You've got to change that. And we're going to teach you how to. We're going to teach you exactly what you need to do to succeed.
So I'm going to quote Jeremy Forcier from my interview with him yesterday. And he came in strong. And he's like, it's not a rough market. It's the market, you know, and the market is math, guys. Yep. You know, this is a mindset and math market. You got to have the skills, and then you got to do the numbers. And if you do the skills and you have the numbers, you're going to have the mindset. So check out Meet the Market. Dale Vermillion, I love hanging out with you, brother.
You too, Dave. Great to see you.
Hopefully you guys got value from this. If you did, give it a like. Share this with your mortgage friends, managers and leaders. If you do want to put a group through Meet the Market, there are some group discounts, and go to the website, click on the link. It should be pretty self-explanatory. Either sign up now, or if you want to do a bulk deal, it will give you direction how to do that. Take care, everybody.
God bless, guys.